Hey, hi guys, good evening guys. Okay, we'll wait for a few more minutes and we'll start in 2-3 minutes, guys. We'll wait for others to join us still. Okay, guys, we'll start. We have reached 400 count. Okay, I think we have already waited for 8-9 minutes. We'll start off, guys. Give me 1 second. So let us start now. So now we are going to start. I was waiting for people to join, more people to join. The reason is, okay, we are going to start with an important topic. Okay, it is very important with respect to any kind of technology, any kind of thing. We are going to start with something called OOPS. So, okay, let me give you a brief idea about OOPS. What is OOPS? Why do we need OOPS? What is the importance of OOPS? How do we use OOPS? So these are the questions what you need to answer to yourself whenever you start working with object-oriented programming system. So what is this object? Okay, let me tell you. The programming we started almost like 1970s. Okay, mid 1970s we started with the programming called C language. Okay, then we worked on C and we were happy with that. But there were some problems. There were some shortcomings. There were some issues. Okay, we try to solve those issues. We have moved to we have moved from C to C++. And early 80s we moved to C++. From there we have C++ almost like it is 50 years now. Okay, it is more than 50 years we have been working with C++. Okay, so when we started with C language, it was a structural language, or we call this as procedural language, or we call this as functional language. Okay, so there we had some problems with that, so that is the reason we moved to C++. So C++ follows the object-oriented programming. Let me share my screen here. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay, so whenever we do anything, we try to make it better, especially for the developers. Performance wise, easy. Okay, less code, more job. That was the that has been the agenda. I mean, that has been the trend from 70s till 2023 now. That has been trend. Every time we keep on improving on that, so that it reduces the time for the developers. It is easy for to do that job, and also performance wise it should be much better. So this is something what we have been trying to do it with every language. Okay, we had C++. In 90s, early 90s, 89, 90, we came up with Python. 95, we came up with Java. Then we came up with, like 2010, 15, we came up with Golang. There are n number of languages which was keep on changing, guys. Okay, the technology has tremendously changed. So one thing what I is okay, today morning also I had a class. I told the same thing to the students also. What we did, what our generation did. I am from 90s, guys, late 90s and early 2000. Okay, what our generation did, okay, and what you guys are doing, there's a big difference. Okay, what we did, okay, we used to build the task, and okay we used to build the task from the scratch, and you used to execute the task. What you guys do is, okay, what your generation is doing is, you guys don't build it, you guys use it. Okay, you use multiple tasks, multiple libraries. Okay, the life is very simple with libraries. Okay, you guys make your life, okay, life is very simple now. Okay, what we did in late 90s, you guys are not doing that. Okay, that is how the change is done. You are trying to concentrate more on, okay, getting the task done. We used to build the task, and then we used to get it done. That was the difference what I feel. Okay, I've been working almost like more than 20 years now. This is the difference what I feel, guys. Okay, we used to build everything, not everything, most of the things I can say, from the scratch. But for you, most of the things are ready made. Everything is on your plate. You guys have to use it, because again the things have been changed. There is a huge demand, there is huge things, there are huge changes. Okay, with the system, with the technology. Okay, you guys can see that there is no comparison. There is a huge change. Okay, when I did my this engineering in 97, 98, at that time internet was very new. Okay, internet was very new, and we used to sit in the we used to wait in the library. Okay, we had a small internet parlor, like almost like 20 seaters or 30 seaters. So we have to register that, and we have to wait. And we had a Netscape browser. Okay, then we moved to IE browser at that time I'm talking about. So that is how there was no Google, there was no search engine, there was nothing. Just we open the website, see the data, that's it, guys. After that, we get, okay, I'm talking about 97, 98. So I still remember we have to remove the shoes and we have to go inside the lab. Okay, we used to sit in the lab. Okay, we have big monitors. Okay, we had floppy disk. You guys might have not seen that also. Okay, like it was around 100 MB, or I don't remember, guys. I don't remember. It was around 100 MB only. Okay, to install one operating system used to take three floppies or five floppies. I still remember that. I'm talking about 97, 98. Okay, everything was on okay, floppies. Then later on we moved to CD. Okay, then we moved to pen drives. That is how the things have been changed, guys. So this is something what, okay, the reason for telling this is, okay, the concept of this oops is there from 80s, and still the concept of oops is there in 2023. Even for 50 years also, there is no change. Okay, so this is some, so you can understand the importance of that. This concept will be, this base will be the same. On this base, there are a lot of things will be built. So that is the reason I just gave you a history about what things have happened before and what is happening now. So, but here, so one more thing I wanted to know, I want to tell you this. Why is it important is, anything and everything what we do in Flutter is with respect to classes, with respect to oops. So Flutter, as with this Dart language, follows oops paradigm. Okay. So I was discussing about. I'm not going in detail, guys. I want to know, Ansari. I want to know more detail about it. Okay, there are n number of websites where you can find the difference between the functional programming and the OOPS programming. I'll just give you a brief idea about it. So basically, functional programming revolves around the functions. We are more interested towards the logic. So what are the functional programming languages? Like we have C, the old one. Then we have Fortran, Pascal, that has been outdated now. Then we have Golang. All these follows the functional paradigm. Then we have something called OOPS paradigm. So in OOPS paradigm, our focus is around our object. I'll tell you what is an object. Okay, so that is the reason it is it is a object oriented programming system, because everything whatever you guys will think, you guys will think with respect to an object. So before that, functional programming, we are more concentrating towards the building the logic functions. So this is the big difference between the functional programming and OOPS programming by their definition. Now let us see more advantages OOPS over functional programming. Second thing is, there are few languages in the market who follows both the pattern. Okay, there are few languages which strictly follow the OOPS pattern, especially your Dart, your Java, your C Sharp, your C++. These are the languages which strictly follow OOPS. There are languages like Golang, C, still we use it. They follow functional programming. Okay, and there are few languages, new languages, like they are from 8-10 years. Okay, they follow both the patterns. So if you want to do functional programming, good. You want to do OOPS programming, okay, it supports. Those languages are like Python, your PHP, your Kotlin. Okay, these are the languages which follow both the pattern. So if you want to do it, okay, dude, I want to do it. I'm happy with functional programming. Do it, no problem. No, I'm happy with OOPS programming. I want to do it like that. Yes, your wish. But in Dart, you don't have that option. So you have to use this OOPS programming. So what does OOPS stands for? OOPS stands for Object-Oriented Programming System. Okay, OOPS stands for, there is a big concept, guys. It will take around 1 to 2 hours just to explain this concept. I'm not going in detail. It stands for object, so oriented. So anything and everything revolves around the object. What is an object? I'll tell you in a minute. Programming system. So this is your object-oriented programming system. That is nothing but OOPS. So what is an object, guys? What is an object? So object is nothing but whatever you guys see around yourself. Like you might be using a computer, or you might be using a pen, or you might be using a mouse. So everything is an object. So whatever you see, it is an object. So this object, so you take the example of a pen, which you might have been seeing it. So pen has two main things here. One is the structure, or I'll say structure of the pen. What is the structure of the pen? It has, okay, like for example, if you take an object as pen here, the pen has a black color. Okay, for example, it is a black pen. Then it has a metal body, or it is a plastic pen. Have a plastic body. Then it has some size. Then it has some width. Okay, it has some height. Okay, height. So these are called as the structure of the pen. Okay, or I'm not getting the right word, guys. Okay, and also, or I can say, yes, right word is, it is called the okay, state of the pen. We sometimes call state. So what is the state of the pen? The state of the pen is what kind of pen it is. Okay, what kind of state it is. It is a black pen which has a plastic body, which has some size, which has some width, some height, all those things. Okay, this is the state of the pen. Same thing, we have something called, what is the use of the pen? Okay, to write it. This is called the behavior of the pen. Okay, pen. What you can do, you can write, you can do anything with it. Okay, whatever operations you write, okay, do with the pen, that is called as behavior. Right? Okay, I think already written it. So this is called the behavior. So when you write something, that is called the behavior. Okay. So basically, what does an object contains? You take any object, guys, whatever you see. You take computer, you take mouse, you take a pen, you take table. Anything is an object, and that object has two properties. One is, okay. One is the state. Other is the behavior. So every object has these two things, guys. Then that makes an object here. So this object-oriented programming, okay, so we think everything with respect to an object. So whatever programming we do it with respect to an object. You take anything, guys. You take a student also. Here I've given you this example of a pen. You take a student. Student again has some state. What is the state of the student? The state of the student will be uh, his his name, his ID, his uh, his address. All these are the all we call the state, or sometimes we call the properties. Okay, we call this as, sometimes we call the state, sometimes we call the properties of the pen. Same thing here. What are the properties of the student? There are many, guys. I'm just mentioning few ones. Okay, state, or we call the properties name, ID, address, phone number. All these are the state, or I'll say the properties of the student. The properties of the student. And what is the behavior of the student? Okay, behavior is learning. I'll try learning, playing. Student plays. Yes, student is playing. Reading, writing. There are so many, okay, so many things the student does. So whatever it does, it's called the behavior of the student. Okay, so you take any object, whatever you see, it will have two states. One is the properties and one is the behavior. Sometimes we call that as a state, and we call that as a I'll tell you about that behavior. So these are the two things what you guys have to keep in mind. Okay, now when you come to the OOPS language, anything and everything revolves around the four principles. Either you guys will be using all the four principles, or you guys may be using any one of the principles. What are the principles of OOPS? Or we say pillars of OOPS, whatever you want to say. Principles or pillars of OOPS. Okay, your entire programming with respect to OOPS will revolve around these four principles. What are the four principles? What are the four principles? Inheritance. Then we have something called polymorphism. Then we have something called encapsulation. Then we have something called abstraction. These are the four principles of OOPS, whether You go for any programming language, anything is that. These are the four things why, okay, your entire programming will stand on. Okay, so you call this as pillars or the principle of OOPS. So what is inheritance? I'm not going to explain you right now technically, guys. I'm just trying to make you understand what is inheritance. Why do we need it? So okay, you remember one thing I said when we started the class. Why did we move from C to C++? Why did we move from the functional programming to the OOPS programming? What is the advantage? The first advantage is inheritance. What is inheritance? Okay, so inheritance is nothing but reusing the code. Like for example, I'm not going to okay explain you technically. Right now, I'm going to explain you okay just in layman terms. Inheritance is nothing but I'm trying to inherit the properties of my father because I am the child of my father, right? So I am going to inherit the properties of my father. So what is the advantage? The advantage is I don't need to repeat the code. For example, my father has some code. I am going to take that code. I am inheriting the code. So the advantage is I don't need to repeat it. So it is going to help me in reusability of the code. Same code, I can inherit my father, I can inherit my mother, I can take it from other. So I don't need to write the code there. I just inherit it, I'll get it. So here inheritance is nothing but getting the properties and the behavior from your father, so that you don't need to write it again. You just inherit that, you get it, and you can use that. So the advantage is it will save lot of code for you. So you don't need to write it again. So it is reusability of the code. So using inheritance, we can achieve reusability of the code. Then we come to polymorphism. What is poly? Poly means multiple. Morphism means taking form. So what is polymorphism? Let me give you a very simple example in layman terms. Now I have a student called Ravi. So when Ravi is in the class, Ravi is a student. Same Ravi, what will happen is once he goes outside the class in the ground, okay, instead of the student, he becomes a player. Okay, same Ravi, when he goes to the kitchen, okay, in that environment, he becomes a chef. So same Ravi, based on the environment, it changes its roles. Same thing here also. One guy can perform different roles. So here, so what is the meaning here is same function but different signature. You know what is signature? Number of parameters, type of parameters, and the return type. That is called the signature of the function. So same function name with different signature can perform a different job. Okay, that signature can act like an environment. That function name is the Ravi, and based on that, it can perform a different operations. Okay, that is what is called polymorphism. Okay, how can we achieve this? Okay, to make it our code more simpler and okay, without making more complications, without to make it more simpler, we use polymorphism. So this is one of the big advantage of using this polymorphism concept with respect to your OOPS. Third thing is encapsulation. So we had one more problem with functional programming. So in functional programming, everything you write it down. So, and what happens is anyone can access your data. If you are working as a group, as a team, so I write the code, okay, anyone can access my code. But what I want is I want to have some privacy. I want to have some security. In that case, I am going to tell dude, this is my private data. I'm not going to share it with anyone. Okay, this is my protected data. I want to okay, I want to give it to only my child. But this is public data. I can give it to anyone. So that is what is encapsulation. Name itself suggests encapsulation. You are putting something in a capsule. Like normally we put medicine in a capsule. Why? To prevent from the outer world. That is what is encapsulation. Then what is abstraction? Abstraction also is a very good concept, very, very good concept here, what we have read. I'll tell you when once we come to implementation, I'll explain to you in very layman terms with an example. So you guys have seen, I mean, okay, you guys have TV. So, okay, and normally we operate TV through a remote. So on the remote control, we have different buttons. We have increase the volume, increase the channel, decrease the volume, all those kind of buttons we have on the TV. Okay, so now the problem is when you have the button, when you click on the button, when you press the volume button, the volume increases. Okay, but okay, is that button is responsible for increasing the volume? No. So internally there is a board, there is a logic. When you click that, that logic will go and connect to the TV, and your sound will increase. But you are not interested. How does it work? What are you interested? You're interested only in the button. You have the button, you click on the button, the volume will increase. That's it. That is what is abstraction. This button acts like an abstract for you. So it is an abstraction. So okay, so what will happen is, okay, you're not interested what is going on in the background. You are exposed to the button. That button, actually that button is not a real button. Okay, internally, okay, if okay, what do you mean by a real button? If you click the button, the volume will increase. No, okay, that button is an abstract button. So internally, there is an implementation of that, but it is an abstract. When you click on the button, plus sign, it will increase the volume. When you click on minus, it will decrease the volume. That button acts like an abstract, okay, abstract controller for the volume increase or decrease. So these are the four concepts of your OOPS. Okay, so any programming and every programming, whatever you guys do, we are going to do only on this four principles only. Now comes very important thing. Okay, many of you guys who have been working for a very long time, trust me, guys, even experience guys with 2-3 years of experience, I have asked them this question. They haven't answered this one. So what is it? Is what is a class and what is an object? Object, okay, you have seen what is an object which has class and behavior. So, okay, just now, okay. So I'll tell you what is a class and what is an object here. Okay, now what is a class and what is an object? It's very important what you guys have to understand. So this is what we are going to use in programming. So what is a class and what is an object here? So what is a class? I'll give you an example. I'm not going to explain you right now. I'm not going to explain you what is a class and object. So class, what does a class contains? A class contains the behavior and the properties. I'll tell you about all those things later, but you understand what is a class. So I'll give you an example. So basically what you guys are trying to do is you guys are trying to build a house. So you guys are trying to build a house. So when you try to build a house, what is the first step you guys do? You guys design it on the paper. You design it on the paper, and what, okay, basically you get it designed from an architect on the paper. So my question is, okay, so what you guys are doing is you guys are going to you guys are planning to build a house. So what you guys do is you guys go and design. You guys go and design the house. Okay, the design. Can you guys live in the design? Can you live it on the paper? No. Okay, so what you guys do is, okay, when you design that house, you need to build that house. To build that house, what you require is you require a lot of material, like you need iron, bricks, sand, cement, all those things you require. So, so once you build that, then you can live in that. So that is the difference here. Okay, same thing I am going to implement with respect to the computers. So class is nothing but a blueprint, like your house has a print, okay, design, right? A blueprint, right? So same thing, a class is nothing but a blueprint. And what is an object? The object is nothing but that blueprint will get the memory. Okay, so this class will not have any memory. So when you create a class will not have any memory. But when you create an object of that class, then it will get memory for that system. It's same like building a house. When you have an house, okay, when you have a blueprint, it's just a blueprint. But once you construct the house, you can go and stay in the house. So that's okay. When you, okay, that constructed house is called as an object. So in computer terms, class is just a blueprint, doesn't have any memory. The memory will be allocated to the class when you create an object. So what is a class? Class is a blueprint. For example, the blueprint of a student, or the okay, I have a car class. Okay, like I'll give you example here, guys. This is a very common example. What you guys can see it here. So let us see how do we create a class here. So I'll come here. I'll use the keyword called class, and I'll say car class. Keep it capital letter car, guys. Okay, and here I'll open the bracket. This is how I create a class. And what is the car class contains? It contains two things. What is okay, two things? It contains the properties and behavior. So what are the properties of the car? First property is, I'll say where color, okay, is equal to, I'll say red color. Okay, and okay, and here I'll say where wheels equal to 4. Okay, these are the properties of the car. Then what? Then I have method. Okay, what is the method of the car? I'll say what is that? Running. No, I'll say speeding. Speeding. Speeding of the car. Okay, I'll say print the speed of the car. Okay, car has a, I'll say, I'll say, okay, speed, okay, of the car only. Okay, I can give any value here. So here, this is what is called a class, guys. So what is a class? A class is nothing but a collection of your properties and behavior, which is nothing but variables and methods. You can have multiple methods. Speeding, then I can say horning. Okay, horn. Okay, I'll say buzz, buzz horn. This is also the function of a car. So it can buzz the horn. I'll say okay, print buzzing of the horn. Okay, so this is what is called the class. This is what is called the class. Class will have, what is class? Class is nothing but a collection of variables and methods. So this becomes a class. Now what is that I'll do is, let me go and create an object of the class. How do I create the object? There are different ways. There are two ways of creating the object. One is the traditional way. How do we do it in C Sharp, Java, C++, all those things. How? I will call car. I'll say my car. Okay, whatever you want to say, use a small letters car, or you can say my car, whatever you want to say, equal to, I'll say new of car and open the bracket here. This is how I create an object of the car. Now, okay, so till now, this time, this guys will not get the memory. Okay, it is just on the paper. But once you create an object with this new keyword, this class will get the memory. Okay, till that time there is no memory. That is what is called as a class, and this is what is called as an object of the class, or we call the instance of the class. So this is the difference between a class and an object. So I can create an object of the class with the new keyword. Now after creating an object, now this everyone got the memory. So now what is that I can do is, I can say car, I say print, I'll say car dot color. I can use this one, car dot color. Also, if I want to use print, I can use all the properties only through the object, car dot wheels. Okay. Now after this, I'll say okay, car dot speeding. Okay, I can call the methods. Also, I can call the method car dot buzz horn. Okay, so I can call all these methods. Now, if I run this here, so you see this is getting called here. So you see what is the color of the car? It is red. Number of wheels in the car, it is 4. Okay, this method is getting called. Speed of the car is getting called. Here is the speed of the car. This method is getting executed. Then I'm calling this method. This method is getting, this block of code is getting executed. So this is how I call the variables and the methods in the class. Guys, any doubts, any questions here? Okay, so now let me continue with this. Okay, I'll give you time, guys. I'll give you time to ask questions. I'll give you time to practice this. So basically, what is that I'll do is I'll copy this one and paste it in the notepad. Okay, I'm not going to take any questions, guys. Don't type anything. I'm not going to see the chat. So now we'll come up with a very important concept called constructor. Okay, you need to understand a lot of things. Whatever I say, you need to understand that. You have to be very, very careful. Okay, and I'm not going to repeat the answer again. Okay, you have to be very careful. This is a little bit tricky concept. Okay, everywhere, okay, most of the classes what I have dealt will have a problem with this understanding the constructor. So, okay, let me make you understand very simple thing. So let me come back with the example. Okay, you want to create multiple objects of the car? Yes, you can create it. So this is one way of creating the object. What is the other way of creating the object? I can say where my car is equal to, I can say car directly. Okay, now even this also I can call my car dot speeding. So what is the difference here is this guy will have separate memory. Okay, for example, this is memory one, this will be in memory two. So you guys can create multiple objects of the class. Okay, multiple we call objects of the class, or we call instance of the class. So this is very important. You guys should be knowing it, because reason is everything, anything and everything what we do it with respect to this classes and objects in that in Flutter. As simple as that. So now next thing is we come to constructor, guys. What is this constructor? Constructor, okay, let me come back to the same example what I have discussed before. Constructor is nothing but, for example, I have designed my house on the paper. Now after that, what is that I'll do is I am going to build the house. To build the house, what is that I'll do is I will go out and take the help of a constructor, and the constructor is the guy who's responsible for building the house. Without the constructor, I cannot build the house. As simple as that. So in computer terms, without the constructor, the memory cannot be allocated to your class. Basically, you guys cannot create an object. But you may ask the question, Ansari, where is the constructor here? I have a class here. Okay, I have a class here. Where is the constructor? There is no constructor here. You said that, now you said that without the constructor, I cannot create an object. But there is no constructor here. So you have to understand, you have my recording. Again, you can listen to the recording. You maybe once or twice, you might need to listen to this recording, and you will understand that. Okay, if there is no constructor mentioned in your class, by default, the compiler or the system will give you a constructor. So without the constructor, you guys cannot create an object. So when you have created an object, so I have not given any constructor, the system will give a constructor to my class. And this is, okay, how does constructor looks? It looks like a method. Can you see this? This is looks like a constructor, name of the class itself. So I'll say one by one property. So what is the first very important point is, let me write it down, guys, so that you guys don't get confused. So what is the constructor? This is the guy constructor. It is responsible for building the object. Okay, second point. If the constructor is not present in the class, okay, compiler allocates a default constructor. So these are the 2 points. I hope this is clear, guys. So what is constructor? This is guy is responsible for building the object. If the constructor is not present in the class, okay, the compiler allocates a default constructor. And how does it look? Okay, the constructor. Okay, how does the constructor looks? It looks like, okay, It looks like a method. It looks like a method. So you guys can see here, it looks like a method. Okay. And if you want to create your own constructor, so okay guys, you need to understand all those very, very important points. I'm going to discuss this one by one. You need to understand this. How does the constructor looks? It looks like a method. So what if I want to create my own constructor? This is the default constructor given by the system. No, dude, I want to create my own constructor. So how do I create my constructor? I'll create my constructor with the name of the class. Okay. So how does it look? This constructor looks like the name of the class. What is the name of the class? Car. I have to use capital only, and it looks like a method. So my constructor looks like a method. Okay, and the method name will be the class name. Method name will be the class name only. So what is that, guys? I'm trying to do. I don't want the default constructor given by the system. I want to have my own constructor. That is what I'm trying to create here. Constructor. Now, okay. Next thing. Then what is the difference between a constructor and a method? See, this is also a method. This is also you can see this is also a method. So what is the difference here? The difference here is, I'll tell you the difference in a minute. I'll show you the difference now. Third thing is, I'll say this constructor, I'll say print. Okay, this is my constructor. So what will happen is, now let me delete this. Okay, let me delete all everything here. I just create an object of the class. Let me minimize this here so that I can get enough space here. Okay, so I hope my screen is okay. I have a bigger size code. That's a problem here. So what is that, guys? I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a I'm trying to create an object. So you see here the object is getting created. So now I'm saying that, dude, I'm not going to call the default constructor because I have my own constructor. So what happens is, now I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to run this one. You can see here what is happening here. When you run this, okay, the constructor will be called automatically. I am not calling the constructor explicitly. So that is the difference between the constructor and the method. If I want to call this method, I have to create an object and I have to call the method explicitly, but the constructor will be called automatically when I create an object of that. So here I'll put constructor will be So constructor will be called automatically when the object is created. That is how the constructor works, guys. So without the constructor, you guys cannot create an object. Even if you want to create it like this, where car1 is equal to car. Okay. So you guys can see here, without the constructor, you guys cannot create an object at all. So now if I run this here, okay, whenever I create an object, the constructor will automatically get called. Here I'm creating two objects, so twice the constructor should get called. Okay, this is my constructor, again this is my constructor. So how many objects you create, okay, that much of memory will be given to this, and whenever, okay, and this guy is responsible for giving the memory. Okay, now what happens here is, why do we need constructor, guys, when I can do it with my job? So one thing that you noticed here, whenever I create an object, the constructor is getting called automatically. So I use constructor to do the initialization. Using constructor, using constructor, I'll use constructor is used to do initialization. Like for example, what do you mean by initialization? I'm sorry. Let me copy paste this for you, so that you guys don't get this thing. You guys have the notes. You guys can refer to this one. Then, okay, what is the use of the constructor? Okay, so before the use, I'll show you one more thing. Constructor can have parameters. Like what are the parameters? Like for example, name, comma, age. Okay, and here I can say I can say my name is dollar name and my age is dollar age. So now what is that I'll do is, okay, now I'm going to create a constructor, but here the constructor is taking two parameters. So I have to pass in two parameters. One parameter is Ansari and other parameter is age is 33. So now you guys can see here, now when I run this one, so here Ansari and age will go here and it will sit here. So constructor can have parameters. So this is called as a parameterized constructor. Okay. So this is called as a parameterized constructor. So this is one thing you guys have understood. I can use constructor to, okay, give parameters. Okay, parameterized constructor. I can have constructor with, okay, with parameters. So constructor name is of the class name. It can have parameters. It cannot have parameters. You may don't, if you don't want to have parameters, also it's fine. If you don't give any constructor, the system will give you a constructor. These are the things what we have seen with respect to the constructor. Now the other thing with respect to the constructor is, I said we use constructor for initialization. Did I write it here? Constructors is used for initialization. So what do you mean initialization here? For example, I can say var name equal to empty, and here I'll say var age equal to 0. I want to initialize these values. Okay. Now what is that I'll do is, now I have given the here is I'll say uh, I'll say one more thing here, print, okay, I'll put bracket here, my car name is dollar name, and okay, instead of, okay, instead of age, what should I give, guys? What should I give? Okay, model. I'll say model. Here. Okay, something guys, I'm not going to do something here. So I'm giving model here. Now what is that I'll do is, my car name is, and model is, I'll say dollar model. So now the value has been empty and 0, but when I create a model, like for example, I'm going to create a, okay, what is that? Okay, I'll say var, okay, I'll say uh, 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 Mercedes car, and here I'll call this as car object, a car object here, and here what is the name of the car? Okay, I'll say um, Mercedes uh, X1. I don't know guys, I'm not very good in cars. X1 car, and what is the model is? I'll give 2004. This is the Mercedes model. What is there? So what happens is, now this Mercedes model will be set here. Now what you might initialize here? What is that I can do is, I can initialize this here. I'll come here. So this data is coming here. Mercedes 11 and 2004 will come and sit in this name. And what is that I can do is, do you understand this one? A lot of things I'm just trying to cover here. I'll say, okay, this dot name. Okay, what is this dot name? This dot name will refer to this outside name. Okay, that is the, okay, class variables. Okay, these are called method variables. So this dot name, so basically I'm passing the data from here, from my main here. I'm passing the data Mercedes 1. I'm passing it here. So okay, this will be passed here, and but I want to initialize the value, right? I'll say I'll give this name here. So what is happening here is, this Mercedes will come here to this name and it will sit here in this name. You want to have a different name, like for example, I'll say mod, only model name, I'll put mod here. So if I put here mod, I don't need to give this, because I know that this is model is equal to, I'll say mod. This is what I initialize the value. Once I initialize value, you know that the constructor will get executed first. So once you execute this, okay, name will be given to this name, mod will be given to this model, Now you call this method anywhere, you call this name and model anywhere, you can use it in your program, and that is what is called as initialization. And this is the one of the important basic purpose of your constructor. Okay, so now what is that I'll do is, now let me run this one. So you guys see here, automatically this will get called. My name is, okay, my car name is, I'll put car guys. My car name is, and my age, and my car age, my car model is, I put model is, so model. Okay, so this line, this piece of code will automatically get executed, and the job of the constructor, we use it for initialization. And what is this? This will, because if we have the same name, the compiler will get confused. So I'm telling this dot name, which will refer to this name. Okay, if I have a different name here and different name here, no problem, I can use it. But if I have the same name, I have to use this. This will refer to the current context or current class variables. Here, in this case, it is referring to the current class. What is my current class? It is a car class. It is referring to these variables. I know that it is very, very confusing. I want you to practice this. Then only you, once you get the hands on, okay, then you can understand much better. So this is about my class. Okay, this is about my constructor. Constructor have the parameters, and what is the job of the constructor? It is to initialize the values. Now, if you see here, let me run this one again. So let me run this again. So I am just creating an object. So automatically the constructor will be called, and this piece of code, this block of code will get executed. Now you see my car name is Mercedes 11 and my car model is 2004. Okay, here also I'll say uh, speed. I'll say sphere. Speed of the car. Speed of, I'll say speed of, okay, is good, and model is, say I'll put it like this. So now what is that I'll do is, I'll just call this one here. I'll say Mercedes dot, I'll say speeding. Now if I run this here, what will happen is, this method will be called, speeding method will be called, and this piece of code will get executed. And this name, which I have first have set it blank, right? Now I have set some value for that. So here it says speed of Mercedes is good and model is 2004. This is what is the main job of the constructor. Before any method gets executed, your constructor will get executed. Okay. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me copy paste it. Okay. So what is that I'll do is, I'm going to share this code. I hope most of you guys have downloaded Android Studio and set up that. Okay. And here, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, give me 1 second. Where is the code? Where is the code? Where is the code? You can zoom, right? Okay, I'll come to the chat. Okay, I'll paste it here. I want too long message here. What is it, guys? Oh, I can share the file itself, right? Sure, I think I can share the file itself. Yes, I can share the file itself. Okay, anyways, I copied this, and if I want to share the file, okay, I'll do it at the last, guys. I'll share the file at the last. So you guys have the code. So what is that I'll do is, I'll give you, okay, 15 minutes of time to go through the code. No more, okay, no questions, guys. I'm not going to take any question right now. I want you to practice this. Okay, I'll give you 15 minutes of time, practice this, understand this. 15, 20 minutes, take 20 minutes, no problem. Understand this? After that, I'll take your questions. Okay, anything with respect to OOPS, classes, objects, polymorphism, okay, principle of OOPS or class object constructors, I'll take the questions. So meanwhile, I want you to have a look into this one. Okay, first practice this, then you guys ask me questions. So, okay, then it makes sense. So I'll give you 20 minutes now. It is almost like 8 o'clock. Okay, 8:20, I'll start. Okay, you guys can ask me questions. Once you have practice, you should know. Okay, I mean, basically, you should be comfortable with that. After that, I'll take the questions. Fine, go ahead. I'll have some water and come back. Okay, do you guys, okay, let me save this file. Let me generate again. How do I send this one? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I think I've sent the file, guys. You can check the file. Okay, guys, let's start. Okay, I think hopefully you might have practiced that. Okay, let me know if you guys have any issues. Okay, let us start with the question answer session. Okay, so I use Dartpad to run the code. Okay, one second, give me one second. I use Dartpad to run the code and got the below. Please check the snapshot. It is necessary to use new keyword when we declare the constructor explicitly. Yes, we have to use the new keyword. If we didn't use it, it will affect the efficiency of the code. No, okay, no efficiency of the code, guys. Okay, this is the way of doing it. New is the keyword which we use it in any language and every language. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, we have to use the new keyword. Yeah, guys, start shooting the questions. Anything you have, any doubts you have, you can start. You can ask me now. So once I can explain about the class, I'm totally confused. Okay, Sai, very simple. Okay, what is the difference between a class and an object? Class is nothing but a blueprint. Like when you want to design your house, what you guys do is you go to an architecture. An architect, what it will do is, okay, he will design the your house on the paper. But can you live in that house? No, you have to create the house with the material. Okay, and that is what is an object. So class is just a blueprint. In computer terminology, class will not have the memory. Once you create an object of the class, memory will be allocated to that class. Okay, okay. Is there any alternate option for constructor? No. Okay, without the constructor, you guys cannot create an object. Okay, guys, one second, guys. So what is var? Is it a data type? No, no more. No, Samayan. You have to go through the first class to know what is there, what is var. Okay. So please provide the text files in the LMS if possible. Yes, I'm going to give it to this person. They will upload it to the LMS strategy. Okay. What about Kirti Sheila? Sir, can you please explain the constructor once again? It's quite confusing, sir. So I have already explained. Okay. To build an object, we need to take the help of the constructor, and the constructor is the guy who's responsible for creating the object. Or I can say this is the guy who is responsible for allocating the memory. So without the constructor, you cannot create an object of that. Okay, so constructor once again. I know that. I know that it's not easy. Okay, constructor is not easy. Okay, you need to go through this, practice it, understand this. Then only you will know this about this one. So constructor is not an easy concept. You have to do your homework on that. Okay, yeah. Constructor, I have already explained to you. Constructor, I want you to go through the notes. I have given you the notes here. I said, what is a constructor? Everything here in the notes. You guys can see the notes here. Okay, what is constructor? I have given you a few of the notes. You want to go more detail, you can go to the website. Any website is fine. How do I move this up here? Sir, what were the required tools to create a basic application through Flutter? Okay, Yunus, we have been using Android Studio with some plugins and SDK, Flutter SDK. That is the requirement. Sir, is there any written type we can use? Okay, very good question. Constructor doesn't have any written type. Please. Okay, which websites you want to refer? Go for Geeks for Dart with Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks, Sumaya. What is the major role of constructor in Flutter? Okay, constructor is the guy who's responsible for building the object. You take Flutter or any language, this is the job of the constructor. Yeah. Don't go for the Dart official website. Go for, I'll show you here. Go for Google. Go for, okay, Dart Geeks for Geeks. Okay, open this. Okay. Okay, now go for introduction. Here you have object-oriented programming. Then you guys have so many things here. Okay, they have started with this keyword, static keyword. I'll go to one by one. Okay, where is the classes? Okay, there are so many things here. Okay, I think we'll go with object-oriented programming. Okay, what are these classes and objects? Is not given it here. I think it is here, guys. So see here, there are so many things. Don't worry about this. So I want to go with some good website, or go with Java T point. That Java T point. This is much better here. Come here, open this one. Go through this classes and object. What is object-oriented programming? Okay, all those things I have explained to you. Then go with your, what is that, guys? What is next topic here? Classes and objects. What is a class and what? I think this will be much better. Okay, come here. I want you to go through this one and practice the example. Not now. Okay, once you go home, once you have time, maybe on the weekend. Okay, you have to practice a lot. Okay, this is very important for me. Classes and objects. Anupam, Viswas, I'm not happy with this question. I'm not happy with this question, Viswas. Okay, I think I have to give this to everyone, right? One second, guys. I'm not going to answer the same question again and again. Okay, so can we create a global method which can be accessed in any class? No, we can't create a global method. Everything has to be in a class. So we can create a class, a global class, and we can access this. Okay, sir, can I use any online company for coding or only Android Studio? Yes, for that it is fine. You can use that pad, but once we come to the Flutter, we don't have any online. What else, guys? What else you have? Come on, shoot the questions. Okay, I'll take it next two, okay, 2 3 minutes only. Okay, constructors. Okay, by default there is a default constructor. Okay, you guys can create a parametric constructor, non-parametric constructor. Okay, as a developer, which Windows or Mac? Mac is much better. Mac is much better, okay, with respect to the performance and the speed. Sir, can you list use in loops? Can you list? Yes, we can iterate to the list using the loops. Sir, can object-oriented programming, can object created without? I've already you guys have already seen you can create an object without parameters also. Yes. So how to install this software? This is my first day. Okay, you have to go through all the recordings, Manohar. Okay, I have given. Okay, you might get the recordings. I want you to go through the recordings. So I have learned C and C++ language, so it is helpful for me because I don't know anything about Java. Okay, your that language is almost like C++ language. If you have done very good C++ language, okay, that is much easier than C++. Right now, you should not be interested in the destructor because, okay, Ritam Samathan, okay, ask questions which is related to this thing. Destructors will automatically get called by the system. You don't need to worry about that. Destructors. Okay, mobile app development attendance link. Okay, Amma has shared the link. Okay. Okay, guys, we'll continue. We'll stop the questions now. I'll stop taking the questions now. Let us continue, guys. Let us continue now. So now, let us see one more very important concept of inheritance. So what is that I'll do is, let me delete all these things here so that it will be much easy for me. Okay, for you guys to also understand. Now let us create a class. I create a class called tiger class. Okay, and here in this tiger class, I'll just say, okay, where eyes eyes is equal to 2 and okay 2, okay, and here where legs equal to 4, something better. And here what is that I'll do is, I'll say, okay, method, what is method? Tiger playing. And here I write the method. This is my class, guys. I'll say print I'll say tiger is playing. Okay, I've done with this very good. I'm now okay. And how do you know? Okay, how do you create an object of that? Okay, I'll come here. I'll say where tiger, small letters. I'm using small t. Here I'm using capital T. See the difference here. Okay, and here I'm going to create an object of this tiger. I have to use the constructor. I'm using the object. Now I use tiger dot tiger playing. Okay, and if I run this one, what will happen is this method will be called and it will say tiger is playing. So this is what is happening here, guys. So it said tiger is playing. This method is getting called and it's playing. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Now, the very important feature is inheritance. So what is inheritance? Let me see. So here I'll say, okay, I'll say class animal, and here I will say, okay, animal, animal. What should I give, guys? Animal. I'll say where animal legs is equal to 4. Okay, and I'll say animal where every animal will not where animal eating. Okay, this is the method which is that I'm going to call here. I'll say print, and I'll say animal is eating. Okay, now the advantage of inheritance is I can get all this code in my tiger class without copying the code. What is that I'll do is, I will say tiger extends animal. So once I say tiger extends animal, all these piece of code will get copied in this here, will be present in this class. So now I didn't create the class, I didn't create an object of animal here. I have created the object of tiger, but still I can get the methods and variables of tiger dot, I can say animal eating. Also, if you guys want to get this one, I'll say print. I can also say tiger dot animal legs. So guys, see here, I didn't create an object of animal, but still I can access all the data from this. Okay, when I extend my tiger class with animal class, all this data will be present in this. This is what is reusability of the code, which I can achieve through inheritance. Okay, I hope you guys might have got it. This is what is inheritance, and okay, tiger is inheriting the animal class. Same way, I can write one more here, guys. I'll say something called class mammal. Okay, and in this class, okay, I'll say mammal where mammal eyes equal to 2. Anything, you guys can take anything, guys. And here I'll say mammal jumping. I saw something as mammal jumping. I'll say sleeping. Okay. Okay. And this method, I am going to call this as, okay, print. In this method, I'll say print mammal is sleeping. Mammal is sleeping. Something like I'm not very good in spellings here. So here, so now what is that I'll do is, now you see this thing. I will take this animal class and I'll extend this animal class extends from mammal class. Okay, once I extend from mammal class, what happens is all the properties of this mammal will come in this animal. But I'm also extending the tiger class from animal class. So what will happen is I get all the properties of mammal as well as all the properties of animal in my tiger class. So now you guys can see here, now I can say tiger dot mammal sleepy. I can use this one. This is called as multi-level inheritance. Okay, first you say we have seen something simple inheritance. This is called as multi-level inheritance. So so this animal is getting all the properties from mammal. Tiger is getting all the properties from animal. So tiger will get the properties of animal as well as mammal because animal is extending from mammal. This is what is called as multi-level inheritance. You're inheriting from other guys, and what is the importance of inheritance? It is nothing but we can use inheritance for reusability of the code. Okay, so what is that I'll do is I'll copy paste this here guys for you. Okay, let me come. I'll say inheritance here. Okay. So this is what is called inheritance here. So now, okay, now after that, okay, here, now I'll give you one more example. Let me delete this of mammal class. Okay, let me remove this mammal class. Okay, now, now I'll give you an example of here. What is the example here is, I'll remove all these things. Don't want to confuse you. I'll keep it very simple here. One is animal class, one is type class. So what is that I'm trying to do is now there is something called there is a concept called overriding. What is overriding? It is polymorphism. Same method but different name. For example, I'll give you a live example. So when I inherit my example, for example, my father has a car. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inherit the car from my father. So once I inherit the car from my father, what will happen is I get the car. Okay, once I get the car, okay, I'm happy I can use the car as I want. But what I felt is I want to change the color of the car. I want to change the engine of the car. I want to change the seats of the car. Okay, yes, I can do that. So I'm getting the car from my father. I can use as it is, but I want to make the changes in that. And if I want to make the changes, that is what is called as overriding. And how do you do that? For example, here animal is eating, right? So this is my father. A tiger is the child, and animal is the father. So what is that I'll do is I'll just okay. Let me minimize this. I'll say animal eating. So you can see here it is override. So to override, you should have the same name, same number of parameters. Okay, then only you can override. So I'm trying to override here. Animal is eating. Now I'll say return super dot animal eating here. So now you guys can see here. Okay. Now what is that I'll do is I'll remove this one. And here I will say print. Okay. Animal is eating good food. I'm just something guys, good food. So what is that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to override my father. Okay, animal is eating. My father says animal is eating, but I'm trying to override this, and I'll say, dude, I'll say my father is animal is eating good food. Now when I call this method here, tiger dot animal eating here, what will happen is this method I have override this method, so this method will be called, and this will get executed. So it will say animal is eating good food. That is what you guys can see here in your run. Animals eating good food. It's not eating a normal food, it is eating a good food. That is what is overriding. No, dude, at the same time, okay, dude, I want to keep my father's car same, but I want to add a new deck system, or I want to add, okay, Stepney, something extra I want to add. I want to keep my same, whatever my father has, I want to keep the same car, but I want to add some extra things to that. So in that case, what is that I'm going to do is, I'll say super dot animal eating. So what is this guys? What is this guy will do? See here, I'll run and show it to you. So what will happen is I'll keep my father car, everything same, plus I'm adding some additional properties to my father car. So super dot animal eating will call the super class. Who is the super class of tiger? Animal class. And animal method, what is that? Animal eating. So it will go and call animal eating. This will get executed. Plus after this, whatever is there will get executed. So animal is eating the good food. This is what is super keyword. So what is super keyword? If I want to refer to my parent class, so here we can call this as a animal as a super class, tiger as a subclass. Or in some languages, you can say tiger as a child, animal as a parent. So you have different names, you can use different names. There is no problem with that. That is what is about your superclass and subclass or this thing. That is what is override. That is the concept of your polymorphism. Where is my polymorphism here? I'll come to my polymorphism here. This is, we have seen inheritance. Now we have seen polymorphism. So in polymorphism, we have something called overriding, and also we have something called overloading. What is overloading, guys? So you remember I said polymorphism means, okay, like Ravi take different forms. So here I'll take Ravi. Ravi, okay, for example, I'll take the same example what I've given it to you. So here I'll take an example here. I'll take it here itself. I'll take it here itself. See, Ravi, I'll say Ravi method. Okay, and here, what is that I'll do is, I am going to take Ravi, okay, okay, school, or I'll say college, that is nothing but a, okay, it is nothing but a, I'll put it like this, guys, string college, okay, and same Ravi, when he's into ground, I should have a different parameters, string Ravi, okay, I'll say string Ravi, ground, okay, ground, 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 comma, I'll say tools. Int, how many tools you have? For example, I'm just giving a very simple example. Int tools. Okay, and here I'll say, see here, why is it giving error? Why, okay, I think that doesn't support overloading, guys. Okay, I get confused here. Why is it giving error here? Why are you using? No. Okay. No, why is it giving error here? I think you can open the documentation. I think there is no overloading here. There is no overloading concept in that. Okay, I think there is no overloading concept in. Okay, yes, this thing. So we have only overriding here. No overloading here. So you guys have understood what is overriding. Okay. Now what is that I'll do is I'll copy this code again. I'll paste it here so that you guys can understand what is overriding and overloading. Sorry, overriding. Okay, inheritance, overriding. Anyone has any questions? Okay, no, I don't want you to ask questions for right now. I want you to do this one. Okay, just try this one. Okay, after trying it, if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask me. I'll copy this code here. Where is my chat? Okay, where is my chat? It's for everyone. Okay, and also I'll copy the same code again. Multiple overriding concept here. Okay. I want you to try this out. Try this out and let me know if you guys have any issues about what is this. Okay, this is also very, very important. Very important. Okay, this classes objects, creating a constructor, not constructor, yes, constructor also. Okay, creating object, class, object, constructor, inheritance are very important. Every second we'll do this. Okay, every second activity we'll do, we create an object or we override or we inherit, will extend. So you guys should be very good in this. That is the reason I'm giving you time to practice this, guys. Go ahead with this, guys. Go ahead fast. Okay, I have pasted the code, guys. I have pasted the code in the chat. You can use that. I'll share it later, guys. No, Muhammad Ali, you don't need to copy. Okay, if you want it, I'll share it, guys. I don't have any problems here. I'll share it here. Okay, now I'll share it to everyone. Okay, everyone in the meeting. This is the file. 835. I've shared it, guys. Okay, someone, I said I'm not going to take any questions now. You guys don't, okay, I mean, don't ask any questions right now. I'll give you time to ask questions. Okay, someone, there are other IDEs also, you guys can use it. But okay, Android Studio is a very good IDE, especially designed for, I mean, this is designed by Google, and you know that Dart language and Flutter is also from Google. So it will, it's much better. You want to use any other IDEs, you can use it, no problem. I have already discussed on that part. Okay, guys. Okay. Now I'll just open the question and answer session. You guys can ask me any questions, any answer. This thing, guys. Okay. Sir, you're using where I is equal to legs is equal to in class. What is the use of program output? It's same. What is the same? What you written in the print? Okay. Sai, I have just given an example. It is nothing to be okay. Just an example for that. Yeah, guys. Now you guys can ask me questions. You can start shooting the questions here. Start shooting the questions, guys. What about others? Is there any limit for multi-level inheritance? Okay, guys, see what happens is there is no limit for multi-level inheritance. I'll come to something called multiple inheritance tomorrow because we don't have multiple inheritance in that. We don't have it in Java. We don't have it in this thing. So I'll tell you what is okay, what is the problem and how do we overcome that. There is no limit for that multi-level inheritance, but we inherit one or two only maximum. When we use multi-level inheritance, do we have to take care about var names not to repeat in these methods? Okay, no, it's nothing like that. It is nothing like that. I have just given an example where I have used it. Okay, you don't need to worry. If names are repeating, again, you need to override these names. Yeah, Hija. Next, guys. Next question. Yeah, guys, you can start shooting the questions. Come on, come on. So, what is the use of override program? Can you explain in a simple way? Mohan, I have already explained to you very simple way. I'm trying to explain. You have to listen very carefully. I said override is nothing but, for example, I'm taking the car of my father. So once I take the car of my father, I want to change the color of the car, or I want to change the engine of the car. Okay, I want to make some changes in the car. So I'm inheriting my father's car, but after inheriting, I want to make the changes in that. That is what is overriding. I'm trying to override the properties and the behavior what I have with my father. Am I clear, Mohan? Yes, you can say it's like modification. Yes, that's correct. Operator manipulate can be done by polymorphism. Yes, operator manipulation can be done through polymorphism. Yes, you can do it, Ethan. So you can achieve multiple inheritance using interface. Yes, that's correct, Krishna. So multiple inheritance we don't have in that. We cannot achieve multiple inheritance, but we can achieve it through the interface. I'll show you tomorrow about that. I think tomorrow we don't have the class, right? We have it on Monday. I'll show it to you on Monday. So Monday will be the last class on that. From Tuesday, we are going to start with Flutter. I think already Amma has sent shared it. They just check the chat. Mobile app development. Yeah, Amma is sharing it again. Guys, mark your attendance, guys. Is Flutter similar to that? No, no, Shalini. We are using that language to build the Flutter application. That is the language. Flutter is the technology. So we use that to build the Flutter application. No, Shalini, very bad, Shalini. Very bad. You're not understanding me. Okay, no, okay, okay. I got it, I got it. Sorry. Guys, come on, come on. You guys can ask me questions here. Whatever you guys have doubts, you can ask me. So you guys have 2 days of time, Saturday and Sunday. I want you to start working on Android Studio, set up the Android Studio, all those things, and get ready, guys. So, okay, download the Flutter SDK. Okay, download the plugins, create the Flutter project, and get ready. So we're going to start from there. Okay, we're going to start from Tuesday. Okay, we'll jump into Flutter. So when will you start projects? Okay, so here, okay, what do you mean the project is? So what I'll do is I'll start with Flutter, I'll do some design and I'll give you, okay. So once we start Flutter, maybe 1 or 2 days after starting with Flutter, you guys will be starting working on the project. So I'll ask you to create a separate project and whatever you guys have learned, I want you to implement that in your project. So that will be. Okay, strategy you want to leave, you can leave it. Okay, I have some. Okay, let me answer few minutes. I'll take it to answer the questions. So installation of Android SDK Flutter process from where we could get. I have shown you in the first class, Yunus. You can get it from there. If not, I can help you out with that, or I can share you some links for that. That also has interface like Java. Yes, we have it. Will the exam be conducted after attending all classes? Okay, I'm no. I don't think so. You will have some assessment but not the exam. You can say exam project will be a group project or single person. So I don't okay, I can't form the groups. It will be a single project. It will based on your interest. I'll give you the inputs for that. I'm going to give you the inputs for that. How do you create a project? All those things. You guys have to show the interest and you can create the project. And that project can be your 6 semester project, or you also can make that as a final year project. You can make that as an internship project also. Okay, you can work on this Flutter project. You can make it an internship project. It's your wish. So we'll give your phone number for contacting on WhatsApp. I don't think so. You have this thing. Okay, you have the contact of the this thing. You can speak to them. So in this session, we will cover how to publish our own app. Yes, we are going to do that, Hemant. Okay, I'll give you the steps. How do we create an APK file? Okay, I'll give you the steps for publishing the file. If you can create an account on Google Play Store, you can do it, Hemant. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, Android Studio, yes, it gets flagged because of your system configuration, Devam. Yeah, guys. Any other questions you guys have it? So at the end of the course, will you explain 1 second? Wait. At the end of the course, will you explain how to upload your own app in the course? Yes, that is what I said. Yes, Mohan. I'm going to show that. Okay. Is the basic of that sufficient for Flutter development or anything extra is required? No. Basics are enough, Rija. Which type of apps we can build after completion of session? Okay, what I'll do is I'll show you some very simple generic app. You can come up with your own apps, guys. Okay, I'll show you how do we connect to the server, get the APIs, make the app. Okay, so okay, it's very simple to build an app with Flutter. What can we build after the session? We'll build a very simple app with login, with a little bit of okay, what is it for connection to the server and showing that server. We'll do that much at least, guys. Only few people are asking questions. What about others? Okay, people are decreasing. Okay, like Hija, Mohan, Devgan, Hemant, these guys are only ask questions. Yunus, I want others to ask questions, guys. Sir, I have an idea for startup, but I don't know where to start building application. Yeah, dude. The problem is I can't discuss the ideas with you. It takes a huge amount of time. Okay, but I'll show you something on last week. If you have some time, we can discuss on your idea, guys. Anyone else has any other questions? Guys, anything you want to ask? I'll be here for the next 2 3 minutes. You can ask me. Okay, Kiran, I didn't get you, Kiran. Which is the best platform to access the new code? Okay, I didn't get you. What do you mean by new code? What do you mean by new code? So one small suggestion. If you would like, actually sound clarity is quite low. If I put my headset most of the time, my voice is not clearly hearable. Dude, I'm using the headphones only. I'll try to use some other headphones. Okay, I'll try to see the quality of the sound. Okay, that is what I can do it. There are some softwares I have installed it. There is a paid software I've done that, but it's not working right now. It's making my system slower. So I'll try my best to come up with some good software. I don't know what is Figma, Patrick. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we'll wind up for the day, guys. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a nice weekend. Okay, and we'll start. Okay, we'll have one more day on that. Then we'll start with Flutter. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Anshul. So, dear participant, if you have a query or question for me, please let me know. I believe there for 2 more minutes and then we'll wind up the session, okay? Sir, note send केला PDF मध्ये save नाही होत. Hey, it's text file. How it will be sent in the PDF? A participant, I already shared the drive link. I'm again sharing the drive link with you. You have to download the material from there. And by tomorrow afternoon, we'll share that material over the LMS as well, okay? Tomorrow there is no any session. Saturday, Sunday we don't have any session. Monday to Friday. So our next session will be on Monday. Okay, so we'll have an assessment. Don't worry about that. Yes, certificate for certification assessment is also important. Any another question? Okay, nothing then. Thank you so much, all of you. Keep practicing. Happy weekend, and we'll meet you with same energy on Monday. Bye bye. Good night.